Boink. Alright, folks, welcome back to Let's Play AlterEgo Female. You guys didn't get that, but if any one of the couple people I had dinner with last night are watching this, they'd kind of get a laugh out of it. Of course, it's going to be uploaded way later, but yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, let's get going. Let's do this, man. Let's do it. Hardcore, dude. Like, man!
Yeah!
It was embarrassing enough when I did it, sweetheart. You've been going through a difficult time with an influential business person who seems to really enjoy making people miserable with his sexist attitudes. Holy cow, it's the maker of this game! His arbitrary decision-making and his arrogance. You get called into his office to take the heat for a relatively minor error. Yeah. You shipped all the quality laptops without the Q in the title, didn't you? That was from a Dilbert. Anyway. The Q is for quality. Anyway. So, you get called into his office to take leave for a relatively minor error. The conversation begins, "Look, darling, I've always believed that a woman's place is in the home."
Wow, just right off the bat.
I love that. Just, you know what? In some ways, you gotta respect him, just because he doesn't beat about the bush with his sexism. You know? I mean, I think that's the worst kind of sexist. You know? This guy,
Yeah.
he's just like... he just hits it, you know? Unfortunately, those bleeding hearts upstairs have made it impossible for me to deal man-to-man around here. There are some problems here that I want resolved, and now. I want oral sex, and now. That's the problem he wants resolved. Anyway, you can be angry about this, anxious, or calm.
Calm.
I do not want to give you oral sex, sir. You can refuse to let him talk to you that way, grovel so that he won't fire you, or don't pay too much attention to him.
Don't pay too much attention to him.
Refuse to let him talk to you that way. Come on, you wuss. You poof. You fairy. I'll keep browbeating you until you agree. Gotta man up to these people. You know, the entire reason he doesn't respect women is because they're always not paying attention, doing stuff like that. You need to go up there and hit him. That's what a man would do.
Fine, hit him.
Okay, good. You are indeed calm enough to behave this way in this situation. Your calmness serves as a positive influence on this person who realizes he is treating you unfairly. There. You always say I never do anything for you. Well, actually, I've never heard you say that, but you never say that I do anything for you either. But I'm constantly helping you.
You mean like the time that you convinced me to go through that one episode and I ended up losing Peter because of it, and now I'm with Rick, who is completely impotent and stupid?
Oh, come on. Was Peter that much better? Let's be honest.
You
None of your
never
boyfriend...
know. See, we won't ever know now, will we? It's all your fault.
This is when you should have screamed out, "Peter was my love. I loved him. Leave Peter alone." Anyway, the company where you work is making drastic cutbacks in these last few months. 3 departments have been reduced to the bare bones. Your services may be next. You don't do your job that well, so you may be next. Alright, you can be anxious or confident.
Confident.
I
am awesome, damn it.
You can find a new place to work, or you can stay where you are. Arr!
Stay where I am?
Arr! Yeah. I guess you feel that the company wouldn't let you go. That is a sign of confidence. In fact, they don't let you go. But unfortunately, the company goes out of business, and you are stuck with no job.
Dick move, man.
Yep. So, you need a new job. So you can apply for a full-time job, obviously. You can retire, but I don't think that's a good choice right now. What employment area are you interested in? Business, sales, creative, health service 1, health service 2, entrepreneur, teacher, researcher, lawyer, technical, labor, or labor 1 or labor 2, or that's it.
Technical.
Technical?
Yeah.
You women don't know anything about technology. You probably don't even know the difference between a CPU and a hard drive. If anyone gets that, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say things like that anymore.
No, you shouldn't.
I just apologize. Alright. Maybe by technical they mean like a techno beat artist. Like a techno artist, you know? You can have like a rockin' techno. I'm sorry, you don't seem to have the qualifications necessary for performing this job. Try again after you have had a bit more life experience.
What?
You suck!
I
Alright.
was supposed to be like 70 before I could do this job.
I think it's because you didn't have any education in technical. Maybe you could get another job in creative?
Sure.
No, you don't have the qualifications for that either.
What?
Man, this is gonna get awkward. Business, sales, health service 1, health service 2, entrepreneur, teacher, researcher, lawyer, labor 1 or labor 2. You could be a factory worker.
Let's try lawyer. See what
Oh, I'm just gonna be a lawyer now. No. No. Alright, there we go. Alright, so business, sales, health service 1, health service 2, entrepreneur, teacher, researcher, labor 1 or labor 2.
Health service 1.
Well, you're gonna be a nurse? I must admit,
Sure.
I do find that interesting. Congratulations, you start work immediately. Of course, you are in your 40s.
Oh yeah, it's because I'm a woman. See, I couldn't be in business, and I couldn't, be in anything technical because, this game is like, I can't even buy a computer, so...
You
I
don't
could
know
be a nurse.
Women
I could
don't
be
know.
a doctor, I could be a nurse, though.
Women don't know anything about computers. They just like frilly dresses. Oh, man. Although you're in your 40s now, so I'm not really that interested in you being a nurse, honestly. But then again, I was imagining you at your current age back when you were masturbating at like 8, so I guess I can do the same thing here. Warning, this episode contains subject matter of a sexual nature. I didn't know you were that kind of nurse.
Nice.
Alright. You have achieved the kind of status in your job already that allows you the luxury of hiring a personal secretary. What? First off, you
I
just...
really wasn't qualified to retake the job I previously had, but I can immediately go into the health industry and hire people to work for me.
There are several candidates available for interviewing. Do nurses even need secretaries? Maxine seems well organized and all business. Cynthia is a casual, laid-back type. Only women can be secretaries. At first, Cynthia seems inattentive, but as your interview goes on... Okay, I just have one very important question. Why does this episode contain subject matter of a sexual nature?
I'm scared.
As the interview goes on, you realize she pays attention very carefully when she speaks. Always says something meaningful. Steven? Who the hell's Steven? It was Maxine and Cynthia! What?
Well, we found out where the sexual nature is going to be coming
They screwed up! Go back, folks, but the game screwed up. It said Maxine. I said Maxine, didn't I?
Yeah.
I never mentioned Steven. Who the hell's Steven? Anyway, Steven is a handsome, outgoing type with blonde hair and large green eyes. He seems to be organized, energetic, and eager to please. Ooh.
I bet he is.
Bow, chicka, wow, wow. Alright, the fact that he has a charming smile and bulging biceps is noticeable, but hardly worth dwelling on. Yeah, you're not interested in that. So, no, Maxine is still a choice. What? But we never mentioned her. So in the first rundown of names, we got 2 of them. Then the second rundown, we got another 2 of them. But And you can be sure of your decision or unsure.
Sure.
So you can choose Maxine, who we know nothing about, Cynthia, who's not sexy, or Steven.
Cynthia.
Not gonna choose Steven?
No. Because he came out of nowhere, and that's kind of scary. I don't hire ninjas.
The hulking piece of man meat?
I don't hire ninjas.
Alright.
They cannot be trusted.
I like ninjas. Cynthia is a good choice, but only for a short time. Steven would have pleasured you for a very long time. Cynthia is just in and out with you. You know, it's very disappointing. Eventually you find her style a bit unnerving. What's going on in that young woman's head? You wonder. Unfortunately, you never get a chance to find out. One day Cynthia calls and mentions she is taking a trip to the other side of the country. She never returns. Perhaps Steven killed her.
Okie
Perhaps he didn't. You are at work, and a decision about something has to be made fast. The person from whom you need that help, the most help in making the decision, is unavailable for consultation. You can be independent or cautious. Fast! You can trust your instincts and proceed without the consultation. Never give up. Trust your instincts. Or put the decision on hold and wait.
Well, apparently I can't wait, so we're gonna do it.
Your intellectual sphere indicates that you are smart enough to make the sensible decision in a situation like this. Well done. Okay. Let's see how your child's doing. At a large picnic, you and Jennifer are asked if you want to join a three-legged race. Do you?
Yes.
Jennifer says, I don't want to be in any dumb three-legged race. Your child has a lot more class than you do, obviously. Okay, no more of these. Alright. Let's do, how are your money doing now that you've improved your job? 44. Where was vocational? Did I miss it? I think I did. You're only down to 12,000. What is your vocational? Where is it? There it is. 95 vocational. You should be getting a lot of money. Rick is a deadbeat, man. To make you a little bit smarter, maybe you'll be smart enough to divorce Rick. You can do that. Do you want to divorce him?
No.
Oh, man. Alright. Let's make you a little bit smarter. Your friends have been telling you for a long time that you should seriously consider writing a book. There and Back Again. A Hobbit's Tale by Bilbo Baggins. You can take them seriously or brush the notion aside.
Take them seriously.
You can try to write the book or not.
Try to write the book.
Alright. It's about vampires. You name it, Twilight.
Oh god, why? Why?
You certainly have the discipline for the task. You are certainly bright enough to manage this task. You are expressive enough to do it. Your confidence shows that you believe you are capable of doing the project. What an ambitious undertaking. In what area would you like to write the book? It can be something fictional and creative, a health/beauty book, since you're a woman, and all you think about is being pretty. A romance novel, since all you think about is boys. A college textbook, which you're probably not smart enough to write, actually. Or a business guide, which you aren't part of. You're a nurse.
Let's go with fictional.
Yeah. Let's write Twilight, man. Let's do
No!
it. We're gonna write Twilight, and you're gonna love it.
Now we all know where Twilight came from. It's all Zach's fault.
It wasn't my fault, man. You're the one who wrote it. Your book is completed and published. Over the course of the next few months, the company that publishes your book is plagued by financial difficulties. Your total profit for the adventure is $1,000. Oh, luckily in this alternate reality, Twilight did not become a success.
Yay!
Anyway, so, spend some time with your family. Your parents have called you to ask for your help on a matter of some urgency. Can be helpful or not?
Helpful.
Can help them or not? I'm serious.
Help them.
You have what you believe are reasonable solutions, not responsible though, to their dilemma. But you realize that the more you try to give them good advice, the more they treat you as though you were still a child. How do you feel about this? Angry, accepting, or disappointed?
Disappointed.
Damn. I'm just as disappointed as I was about Twilight. Why didn't you choose Jacob? Okay, I'm sorry, guys. It's just too easy, you know? Don't take it personally. In their eyes, you are still their little girl, who's in her 40s! Believe it or not, eventually your advice sinks in. Though they fail to attribute their success in solving their problem to you, some things never change. I would do the health one, but I think that's one where you, yeah, hit menopause, and you don't want that. So, your friends have always encouraged you to do something with those wonderful little TV snacks you cook up for parties and football games. American or international rules football, they're different. I'm just saying. I wanted a response from you there, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Anyway, while you are in the kitchen fiddling around with Rick, oh, sorry, an afternoon snack, you begin to wonder if they could be right. You can be creative, bored, or neutral.
Creative.
You can continue fiddling with Rick, or give up and go to a fast food place.
Continue fiddling.
Rick says, "Oh yeah, baby." You mix a little of this and a little of that. Ah, it's just the way Rick likes it. You taste it.
You made it so
Wait.
much more creamy. Good job.
Please wait a moment. You taste it. It's missing something. What do you think you should add? More bean dip, more cheese, a slice of onion, or some chopped green peppers and olives?
Green
Cheese!
peppers and olives?
No. Okay, fine. We'll just forget the cheese, okay? Yeah, okay? You don't want edible mold on your food? Fine! But we're not friends anymore. I want to make that clear to you. Eureka, that's it. You create a new taste sensation. A horrible taste sensation, but a new one. You share it with your friends, who vomit. Who rave about the taste. One friend who is in marketing believes you could probably sell it to a certain fast food company for a handsome profit. What will you do? Offer it to the company, or keep the recipe a secret? You need money.
To the company.
You prepare a presentation to the chairman of the board. The idea falls flat. Sorry. I would like to point out, Stein Eric was smart enough to get it accepted. So apparently Stein Eric's better at cooking than you. You've passed through adulthood. Family life's been good. Children in your life seem to be growing up so fast. They give you more than your share of aggravation. But they are also lovable and give you a great joy in your heart. Physically, you have not been very healthy. Oh, yes. You have been very unhealthy. You lost an arm in Vietnam. You have chosen wisely to stay away from drinking and drugs. If only all of us were so lucky. Sometimes we need drinking and drugs just to keep the nightmares of that jungle hell out of our minds. The helicopters overhead. The screaming women and children running. The gunfire. Timmy takes one in the head. You don't know where it's from. You hear rustling in the bushes. You spray fire in every direction, but you Can't seem to hit anything. A shooting pain goes through your leg. You fall screaming. Help me, Mommy, you say. But she's not there. You're alone with the Viet Cong. They take you to their base, where they turn on the blowtorch. They apply it to your penis. At this station in life, you have probably chosen to associate with a select group of cohorts. In general, your social skills are excellent. I hope that you and Rick are enjoying your lives together, but it can get difficult. But it looks as though you are trying. Now, regarding your emotional and personality development, you are a very trustworthy person. And though we all have our secrets, you are doing a very good job of keeping your wilder side under control. You are taking life pretty seriously, aren't you? While you are far from depressed, it sometimes seems that you don't always strive to be the happiest person you can be. You can be sensible and understanding. You are usually cool, calm, and collected. Vocationally, you are doing well despite the day-to-day hassles and problems at work. You are certainly having a good head on your shoulders. You are not only book smart, you also have plenty of common sense. As you approach the middle years of life, age will probably play a more central role in your experience than it has in the past. For some individuals, the middle years are a time of depression and regret. For others, they mark the beginning of a settling down period of contentment. Life can always be as rich and full as you want it to be. You might not be able to climb the highest tree in the forest anymore, but now may be the first time that you allow yourself to experience its beauty without needing to conquer or possess it. Do you get all that?
Okay. Yeah.
After the verb to love, to help is the second and most beautiful verb in the word. What? I don't. Screw that. Anyway, let's talk to your child. How are you, child? No, doesn't want to talk to you. Let's talk to your husband. Your husband has an interesting habit. He calls it sex. He keeps wanting to do it every night. It has displayed itself many times over the years. You have been married. Every time the two of you go out to eat dinner, he leans over your plate and picks at the food in your dish. Bastard. Tonight, the two of you are with some very special friends. They are the people you swing with in bed. Moments after you sit down to eat, he spears an appetizer from your dish and pops it into his mouth. Not the first thing.
Class.
Not the first thing he's popped into his mouth. Yes, he spent time in jail. You can give him a dirty look, ignore it, make a funny joke about it to the others, or kill him! Or say something firm but polite to him.
Ignore it.
Because it's not actually that big of a deal. People do that to me all the time, and I do something called get the hell over it. Because I'm not a complete wuss! It is probably best not to make a big deal of something like this, particularly in a public place. When the guests at the other end of the table see what is happening, they look at each other quizzingly. You feel their eyes burning on you with hatred. You think they're wondering about the appropriateness of your husband's behavior. For God's sake, why? I find myself wondering. But apparently this is a huge deal to women. They hate it.
Sure.
You get divorced soon afterwards. The reality, they are whispering to each other, is her appetizer that good? Everyone at the table asks for a bite, and before you know it, you have none left. Tears stream down your face. They burn. Perhaps you need more water in your diet. Let's talk to your husband some more. Late at night, while you are still awake, and Rick is sleeping, you watch him dozing peacefully. A wide smile on his face. Aww. You can stroke his hair gently and whisper, "I love you." Or you can turn over and go to sleep.
stroke his hair.
Rick looks up at you, glassy-eyed and half awake. He puts his arm across your chest and squirms.
Of course he did.
And squirms into a comfortable spot between your chests. Your arm and shoulder. He whispers, I love you, Conchetta. Then falls into a deep slumber. You can mention it to him in the morning, say nothing, or start screaming and wake him up now.
Mention it to him in the morning.
Since you can control your hostility and frustration rather well, you don't murder him. You nonchalantly ask Rick if he remembers blurting out Conchetta in his sleep last night. He says he doesn't remember anything like that, and laughs it off as being silly. But is it really silly? Is an affair funny to you? You disgust me. You slime. You mention that he was looking quite peaceful during his sleep, which sparks an association. Oh yeah, I do remember having a kind of kinky dream last night. He teases. But is it really teasing? Is an affair funny?
What the hell's wrong with you?
You can inquire about the dreamer. Let it go.
Inquire.
What were you dreaming about? Rick thinks that you are being ridiculous. But isn't it fair?
Maybe I was just wanting to know about the dream. It said inquire. That could imply curiosity, not accusing. Sounds like somebody has something they want to tell me.
How can anyone remember that much detail about any dream? Even one...
Well, you seem to remember it was kinky.
Even one where he did ejaculate into another woman. Even that kind of dream you cannot remember that much detail about. All he can remember is that he put his penis into a woman named Conchita. And that she had dark hair and a mysterious birthmark. Before he can say anything else, he begins to smile. Isn't an affair funny? You can let it go, or ask him what he thinks is so funny. I'm sorry, grunting is not a response.
Let it go.
Oh, come on! What is so funny?
What happens if I let it go?
Not that this is gonna happen. The game is just gonna chastise you again about being too trusting and not sticking up for yourself. I mean, this way it's gonna chastise you about being hostile and angry all the time. I mean, the game is going to chastise you no matter what. But let's figure out what's so funny. You know?
Fine.
Thank you. I need to continue talking. This weird voice. Rick says nothing, then begins to laugh hysterically. Isn't it fair? Funny. You can let it go, or keep asking about the dream.
Keep asking.
Well, if you really want to know, uncontrollable laughter. She had this pair of huge... He can't bring himself to say it. Isn't it fair? Funny. You can let it go, or tell him to stop laughing and tell you.
Stop laughing and tell me.
You ask him, isn't it fair? Funny. And he continues, this huge pair of bullhorns hanging above her bed. Good night. Yes, bullhorns are funny. Affairs are not. Don't have affairs. This public service announcement brought to you by PhoenixTsukino.
Yeah, obviously.
Make bullhorns, not affairs. You and Rick have had a good marriage up until this point. Apparently. The local paper singles you out as couple of the year. The local paper does that. Paper doesn't here. And sends you on a vacation cruise around the world. Bon voyage. Well, that's it. No, I'm serious. That's it. It just ended. I didn't think it would. I made a smart-ass remark because I thought no one would possibly be stupid enough to create a little scenario that's just one little text box that means nothing. But apparently this game goes where I thought none dared. Go figure, right? Your husband has become interested in photography and has signed up for a photography class at his local high school. His assignment for this week is candid photography. As a result, everything you do at home is accompanied by a familiar click. Yesterday morning, he snapped you just as you were rising and called the picture Squirrel's Nest Surprise. Wait. What exactly is the squirrel's nest? I'm afraid, kind of. I'm not sure that's appropriate for a high school. You know. I'd love to see the picture. I mean, don't get me wrong. One afternoon, while you were alone in the house, sitting on the toilet, I wish I made that up, but I didn't. You were just sitting there, not going to the bathroom or anything, just sitting. The telephone rings. You can pick up the phone from the bathroom, or let it ring. Apparently the whole photography thing had nothing to do with what's going on now. Now you're on the can, wondering if the phone... Pick up the phone, right? You're gonna let it ring. Just...
Well, I can't get it from the bathroom.
Oh, why not? Just walk over, spewing bits of feces all over the house as you go. Just don't stop. Just do it. Were you afraid that your husband would ambush you and take a picture as you were hurrying out of the bathroom with your underwear around your knees? First off, I want to see those pictures. Second, is that what you were afraid of? Third, why was there no option to pull up your pants first? What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with this game?
You're just, like, you know, I'm just saying. Why would you take a picture of that? Here's a picture of my wife's gooch, guys. How do you think of it?
Well, he thought bullhorns were hilarious, so, you know.
So is that what you were afraid of?
No.
You just don't like to interrupt your business. Well, it's a good thing you didn't come out anyway. Apparently that's what he was going to do. Anyway, folks, timer's up. Phoenix was just done on the toilet, so, yeah, we'll see you in the next episode, where this will happen. She'll go through middle adulthood and become old. And
Okay.
that's about it. So we will see you then, folks. Until then, kiss kiss.
Bye-bye.
There you go, finally. Took you forever. Only I'm allowed to do the strange halting way of speaking. Alright,
Okay.
see ya. Boink. Alright, folks, welcome back to Let's Play Alter Ego Female. You guys didn't get that, but if any one of the couple people I had dinner with last night are watching this, they'd kind of get a laugh out of it. Of course, it's going to be uploaded way later, but yeah. Anyway. So, yeah. Let's get going. Let's do this, man. Let's do it. Hardcore, dude. Like, man!
Yeah.
It was embarrassing enough when I did it, sweetheart. You've been going through a difficult time with an influential business person who seems to really enjoy making people miserable with his problem he wants to solve. Anyway, you can be angry about this, anxious, or calm.
Calm.
I do not want to give you oral sex, sir. You can refuse to let him talk to you that way, grovel so that he won't fire you, or don't pay too much attention to him.
Don't pay too much attention to him.
Refuse to let him talk to you that way. Come on, you wuss. You poof. You fairy. I'll keep browbeating you until you agree. Gotta man up to these people. The entire reason he doesn't respect women is because they're always not paying attention, doing stuff like that. You need to go up there and hit him. That's what a man would do. Error. The conversation begins. Look, darling, I've always believed that a woman's place is in the home.
Wow, just right off the bat.
I love that. Just, you know what? In some ways, you gotta respect him, just because he doesn't beat about the bush with his sexism. You know? I mean, I think that's the worst kind of sexist. You know? This guy,
Yeah.
he's just like... he just hits it, you know? Unfortunately, those bleeding hearts upstairs have made it impossible for me to deal man-to-man around here. There are some problems here that I want resolved, and now. I want oral sex, and now. That's his sexist attitudes. Holy cow, it's the maker of this game! His arbitrary decision-making and his arrogance. You get called into his office to take the heat for a relatively minor error. Yeah. You shipped all the quality laptops without the Q in the title, didn't you? That was from a Dilbert. Anyway. The Q is for quality. Anyway. So, you get called into his office to take the heat for a relatively minor...
Fine, hit him.
Okay, good. You are indeed calm enough to behave this way in this situation. Your calmness serves as a positive influence on this person who realizes he is treating you unfairly. There. You always say I never do anything for you. Well, actually, I've never heard you say that, but you never say that I do anything for you either. But I'm constantly helping you.
You mean like the time that you convinced me to go through that one episode and I ended up losing Peter because of it, and now I'm with Rick, who is completely impotent and stupid?
Oh, come on. Was Peter that much better? Let's be honest.
You
None of your
never
boyfriend...
know. See, we won't ever know now.